Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, watch as Governor of... Quickly, just give us a minute. Watch as the Governor of the Erongo region, Neville Andre, deliver his State of the Region address, Nika Nangolo reports.
Housing is the most intimate setting of every Namibian family and potentially its most valued asset. The delivery of urban land and housing is an urgent undertaking that involves overlapping stakeholders, market and legal system for accessing land, finance services like water, electricity, sewer, and eventually construction. Mass housing project in Namibia, in Swakopmund. I'm pleased to report that the Namibian government has heard the plea of the people through effectively solving the dispute on the mass housing project. This matter has been a concern to my office and equally to the central government. Hence, government leaders such as His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Sarah Kogongelo Amavila, and Honorable Erastus Utoni, Minister of Urban and Rural Development, visited the project to assess its status. I'm therefore pleased that this issue has been resolved. The renovation and construction has started for 319 houses. I'm reliably informed that by the end of this month, the first 66 houses will be delivered to the new owners, while the final batch of houses will be completed by the end of May 2024. Is that not something good? This is a significant development and will definitely ease the housing backlog experience in Swakopmund.
This morning, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology hosted an exclusive breakfast sponsorship meeting at the Protea Hotel Fürstenhof, unveiling exciting sponsorship opportunities for the highly anticipated 7th National ICT Summit set to take place from the 9th to the 11th of October later this year. Now, key ICT stakeholders, MTC and Telecom, both agreed to pledge $130,000 million and secure the title as the platinum sponsor for the highly anticipated event. Jemima Dembele reports.
Long-standing COVID, we had to put everything on pause, which also gave us some time to reflect on how we'd like to structure the summit, what we want the gains to be, and the chart of the ICT sector in general in the country. So thank you very much this morning for coming out to this breakfast meeting. I give apologies on behalf of the Minister. He's stuck at another engagement out of town since the weekend, so he couldn't be here with you. But be rest assured that when we launch and do the handover ceremony, he'll be here to accept your beautiful pledges towards this very important activity as a flagship ICT summit under the Ministry of ICT. This morning, of course, I'll share my speech a bit later on. I just really wanted to thank you for the pledges that you have given us and you will give us moving forward before October this year in time for the summit, but also to implore you to see this as an opportunity to help us chart a journey towards digital transformation in the country. I'm sure you have seen really the work that we've been doing as a ministry on behalf of government, the drafting of policies and laws, really deep diving into the industry to understand the needs, the gaps, and what we can do as a government to really ensure that the industry continues to thrive, and advocating for the industry to take center stage around developmental issues in the country. I think post-COVID, everybody's somehow convinced that ICT, digital technologies is the future, but how, when, and how to invest in that is still a question in everybody's mind, and they don't know how to show up to make that a reality. So we want to make the ICT Summit as sort of a flagship event in this year particularly to show everybody really where we need to go, how every sector is basically clothed under ICT, because every single person now knows that they need to align to ICT services to move forward and to prepare for the next revolution. So as the industry and as a ministry guiding this industry and developing policies and to ensure that you have ample room and a conducive environment to do your due as it goes, we really want you on board to help us put ICT center stage across the country with the summit and many other activities we are preparing as a ministry, so that everybody understands that when we talk ICT, it's just not in the mouth. There's actually people in the industry that are doing incredible work to ensure that the industry is alive and well, and that it prepares the whole country really to the digital future and digital development would like for the rest of us.
In our next story, the United Nations Education Agency, UNESCO, is in hot pursuit of Higher Education Minister Dr. Ita Kanji-Murangi after she failed to repay money paid to her for a trip to the United States of America earlier this year to attend a UNESCO event. Ironically, the minister was only invited for 2 days from the 6th to the 7th of March, for which UNESCO headquarters catered. However, she decided to stay in New York until the 12th of March 2023. Confidential documents have now revealed new details about double payments made to the minister by the local office as well as the UNESCO headquarters, including how the agency has been unsuccessfully trying to recoup some of the money from the minister. The records show that UNESCO local office, Namibia National Commission for UNESCO, NATCOM, paid over $220,000 Namibian into the personal bank account of Kanji-Murangi, and she received another $1,000 from UNESCO headquarters. Now, both payments were made in March 2023. A source close to the matter told Namibian Sun that funds of the UNESCO office should explicitly be used for projects and not for these types of payments. The funds were meant to cater for her daily subsistence allowance from UNESCO to take part in a high-level panel discussion, which will form part of a 2-day side event at the 67th Commission on the Status of Women, which took place in New York from the 6th to the 7th of March 2023. She was accompanied by her personal assistant, Lungenesia Wathewapwami. Kanji-Murangi was invited by UNESCO's Assistant Director General for Social Sciences, Gabriel Ramos, who also gave assurance that the agency will pay for the minister's travel and accommodation cost. Now, in our next story, the hashtag Justice for Dalton petition has gotten more than 6,000 signatures, and the Justice for Animal Trust has put up 2 billboards as part of its campaign for animal rights. Let's take a look.
Die diereregte petisie wat as deel van die #Justice for Dalton veldtog van stapel gestuur is, het nou meer as 6,000 handtekeninge en daar is nou ook 'n fisieke petisie beskikbaar vir diegene wat nie toegang tot die aanlyn petisie het nie. Die trust beoog om 10,000 handtekeninge te kry voor 31 Julie wanneer die beskuldigdes wat glo die 8-jarige Weimaraner van Rebot Dalton uit sy huis gesteel, in stukke gesny en gaar gemaak het, weer in die Landdroshof op Rebot verskyn. Die voorsitter van die Justice for Animal Trust, Ronel Levies, het vandag aan Republikein gesê: "Jou kar is jou eiendom, maar as jy jou kar skop, kry net jy seer. As jy jou hond skop, kry jou hond seer. Dis die verskil. Diere is meer as net blote eiendom." Die trust het ook die afgelope week 2 advertensieborde in Windhoek en in die noorde opgerig vir die bewusmaking van die veldtog en beplan om nog advertensieborde in die komende weke op te rig.
Standard Bank Namibia has launched a new banking app. We get into this story on the other side of the break.
This is Africa. Good morning.
My name is Aina Raizakaya alongside Diana Master.
In the ANC conference in December. So starting off with the cycling.
Africa, good morning. Do have a lovely...
Minister Monica Mchangwa has said that
with the soccer, the English Premier League continued, the biggest game being...
On that note, it is all our love, all our light.
Getting into our story of the day, Standard Bank Namibia has launched Happiness, a new banking app. that aims to provide convenience, security, and innovation to its clients. The app will have various technological features incorporated into the app. Junior Kapofi reports.
Journey to get to a place where we can finally launch our Celebrate Namibia app with the set of features ready for our customers to use that will meet their demands as well as their financial abilities, and we are growing together on this journey. I'll just hand over to Liana to tell us more about how this project came about and how we ended it.
Good morning. So I think it's been a journey indeed. We started this journey last year, January, and the first thing we had to do was obviously identify the talent and the resources that we'll be using to contribute to getting this landed in production. So after that, they were unfortunately put on many hours of training. I think some of them hated us very much because they had only a short time to complete many hours, but all of them did. So there was training done, and then we had to start with the solution workshops. Once that was completed, I think we were ready with a solution design by June last year, and this is when we started developing, releasing functionality incrementally into our testing environment, testing, rigorously making sure that the functionality does offer what we needed to offer, fixing things. And I think in March this year, we launched a full functioning app to a Friends of the Program group. And today we're launching the same application that we've put many hours in to the public.
Thank you for the question. I think coming from this journey, we really looked at seamless banking, right? As well as convenience to the client, as well as convenience touch points. So features available on the app currently, which the customers can enjoy, is transfers, beneficiary payments, as well as once-off payments, Blue Voucher, which is our instant cash offering that customers can redeem at all our Standard Bank ATMs. And then of course buying airtime, electricity, paying your TV subscriptions, and then of course managing all your beneficiaries in one place. And I think lastly is our new offering is in-app notifications, and there's many more additional capabilities as well that you find in the app.
Now, a butternut project was hosted earlier today. We get into this on the other side of the break.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Now, the Women at Work Training Center is hosting a butternut project in collaboration with Capricorn Foundation and Leader Foundation, where 12 ladies are taught how to preserve butternut for a long time, as well as making different food products with it. Watch as Pat Siverston talks about the project. Micheline Nawatisis was there.
Hello, I'm Pat Siverston from the Women at Work Training Center, and this is our Project Butternut initiative, which we're working together with Capricorn Foundation, who've sponsored this training course, and with Leader Foundation, who've provided the butternuts. And the object of the course is to teach the ladies how to preserve butternuts and to make different items with it, different food products. So we've done freezing, we've made puree, we're busy making jam right now, and we've also started the pickling process. There are 12 ladies from different projects, and they've all received butternuts, and they now have to learn how to preserve the butternuts because they need to use them later on in the year for their soup kitchens and their projects where they are feeding people.
Hi, my name is Florence Kakas, and I am from Leader Community Foundation. So basically how I am finding the program so far is it's very educational, and the fact that I get to meet new people, engage, and yeah, so that's basically it about the program. We are being taught on different ways to save the butternut. As in, for example, we buy the butternut and we don't know how to keep it longer in the house and it goes bad. So we have been taught on the process of washing the butternut, drying it, and then putting oil on it for it to last longer, like for 2 to 3 months, the longest, without it going bad. And how you can cook it and freeze it and use it in the long run again.
Okay, so how do you think this training will better your future?
For my future, basically, it's teaching me self-independence in the way of I'm having so many ideas already, starting my own business, making jam and selling and so forth, just by using butternut. And it's so easy. That's an easy way to generate yourself income from just this one training. I am currently volunteering at a community foundation called LIDAR Community Foundation. It is situated in Damara location, the side of Damara bus stop. What we basically do is empower young women and help adolescent girls. With the adolescent girls, we have an after-school program where we feed them, help them with homework, have after-school activities like dancing, arts. We get to talk to the girls. And for the young mothers, we have a 3-week training on which we teach them how to bake, clean, just the basic stuff, and then help them to get jobs, which makes it for them not to be dependent on anybody, but to empower them to do for themselves and their kids. Yes.
Economic news follows shortly.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our economic news, Parates announced a multi-year agreement with the global innovator and leading solutions provider of wireless communication, Ceragon Networks, to provide high-capacity wireless offshore communication solutions in Angola, Mozambique, and Namibia. This effectively combines Ceragon's world-class stabilizing technology for offshore assets with the Parates onshore network infrastructure to give customers an unequaled service for fast and secure transmission of vital data. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.21, against the euro at 20.71, against the US dollar at 18.85, and $2.61 gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Copper, platinum, and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.24%, going for $78.47 per barrel. After the break, we get into your international news.
Ranging from current affairs, community stories,
Thank you for joining the show that highlights the news-making headlines in the land of the brave and beyond.
Always major victorious.
Let's take a look at our international news. China has been upgrading its global assistance programs and engaging more international players in the process, said Zhu Wei, the spokesperson of the China International Development Cooperation Agency. Zhu spoke with China Global Television Network on the sidelines of the first high-level meeting of the Forum on Global Action for Shared Development, which opened in Beijing on Monday. Now, he highlighted several developments in the country's global aid efforts over the past half decade. Let's take a look.
China has been upgrading foreign assistance to a new model of international development cooperation. In 2018, China International Development Cooperation Agency was set up. Traditionally, we focus more on government assistance. It is the main channel which emphasizes bilateral cooperation. Now we're shifting to a new model. Under this model, diversified aid entities participate, and not only bilateral, but also multilateral. For instance, we actively explore tri-party cooperation with relevant developed countries and international organizations, such as Switzerland and Germany. In Africa, joint conduct projects. African countries like Tanzania and Nigeria in the area of agriculture and health. And these projects are of great significance to people's well-being, and we call that small yet smart projects. Through global development and the South-South Cooperation Fund, we conducted more than 130 projects with 20 international organizations. And these projects range from disaster relief, food supply, healthcare, poverty alleviation, to climate change, benefiting nearly 30 million people in 60 developing countries. We will step up our efforts and put more resources.
Let's take a look at our weather predictions for Namibia. In the northern regions, the weather conditions are clear throughout the day. The maximum temperature ranges from 22.6 to 28.4 degrees, with minimum temperatures ranging from 6.9 to 16.8 degrees. Now in the central region, the weather conditions are clear throughout the day. The maximum temperatures ranges from 16.2 to 17.3 degrees, with the minimum temperatures ranging from minus 2.1 degrees to 2.7 degrees. Now in the southern regions, the weather conditions are clear throughout the day. In the coastal region, the weather conditions are also clear throughout the day, with some partly cloudy conditions in Swakopmund. The maximum temperatures ranging from 22.1 to 29 degrees, with minimum temperatures ranging from 11.1 degrees to 16.2 degrees Celsius. After the break, we get into your sports news.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Let's take a look at the sports news, courtesy of Sports Rep.
Good evening, viewers. On this evening's Sunset News, brought to you by Sports Rep, Imogen Janssen won an all-expenses-paid trip to France as part of Namibia Media Holdings 2023 Le Rugby Jol France competition. Janssen, a 26-year-old who grew up in Rehoboth, was one of the 7 finalists from more than 13,000 entries who took part in the final round held at Arabush Lodge on Friday. As you can see there she was celebrating after she just found out that she won a trip to France. And when asked who she was taking with to this beautiful trip, she said she's not sure yet, but it looks like she will be taking her mother with her. Well, as the Brave Warriors prepare to face Botswana in the last group clash tomorrow at 6, Namibia's head coach Colin Benjamin spoke in a post-interview after his side faltered 2-1 against Eswatini in Saturday's Group A clash. Colin Benjamin after that spoke that the team started really slow in the first 2 games and hopefully they can bounce back against Botswana with the hopes of still qualifying for the quarterfinals in the COSAFA. Considered to be one of the oldest off-road races in the country, the Khoisan Rally has been around for 38 years as it started in 1985. Well, it was definitely a good event that took part in the coast, where we had people that came into the country all the way from South Africa and Angola to take part in this prestigious event. Well, that's all we have from you from the sports team, and that's goodbye from us.
That was your sports news. Let's now take a look at the news highlights from today's broadcast. The Women at Work Training Center is hosting a butternut project in collaboration with the Capricorn Foundation and Leader Foundation, where 12 ladies are taught to preserve butternut for a long time. This morning, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology hosted an exclusive breakfast sponsorship meeting at the Protea Hotel Fürstenhof, unveiling exciting sponsorship opportunities for the highly anticipated 7th National ICT Summit. Now, Emergon Jensen won an all-expense-paid trip to France as part of Namibia Media Holdings 2023 Le Rugby Jol France competition. Now, Jensen, a 26-year-old who grew up in Rehoboth, was one of the 7 finalists from more than 13,000 entries who took part in the final round held at Arabush Lodge on Friday afternoon. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in and watching Sunset News. From me, Glenn Rashipura. Until next time.